Hey everyone! Today we're tackling one of the most popular Chinese barbecue dish, Char Siu. We'll be testing three methods: sous vide, air fryer, and oven. Which one will give us the juiciest, most flavorful char siu? Let's find out. Char siu, or Chinese BBQ pork, is known for its sweet, savory glaze and that signature red color. Today we'll prepare the same marinated pork with three different methods to see which one will really bring out the best out of this dish. Here is the ingredient list for the char siu marinade. All three recipe uses the same marinade, the only difference is the final glaze. For the sous vide and the oven bake method, we use diluted honey, while the air fryer char siu just use straight up honey. I feel like the key to making good char siu is to find good quality meat. I personally like to use the Costco pork shoulder. I love to use pork butt because you can see that it has very great marble, and for the oddest reason, Costco have one of the softest pork butt compared to Asian market. I don't know, it's just softer than the usual one. But how I look at it is before I cut it, I will like kind of examine it. So you see how like over here, you can see the grains, right? So the grain run kind of like this way. And then when you cut like this, you want to cut against the grain. So which means if the grain is this side, you want to slice it this way. So on the back of this one, it have a lot of like kind of like fat, and it's very good to make char siu. So what I usually like to do is identify like places like this, and I kind of just do like a quick cut through about here. So for the first one, I cut straight. Is because if you look at the grain, it's this way, right? And so when you bake the char siu like this, you will cut against the grain for your pieces. So I usually like do like maybe half. This is like perfect for one meal for me and my husband. So you kind of like feel the bone itself. There's like a small piece of bone that was like left over, and I like to like cut it away. And so I would just pack it like this to make char siu. Regardless of the method you use, the first step is to use a meat tenderizer and poke a bunch of holes in it. This will help the pork absorb the marinade better. In a bowl, combine all your char siu marinade ingredients together. Red coloring is optional, but it will really help the char siu pop. Give everything a quick mix and then pour it on top of the pork. Now give everything a quick stir, make sure every inch of that pork have marinade in it, and let it sit in the fridge for at least 4 hours. First up is the classic oven method. We will bake the pork, spreading marinade on it every 15 minutes to keep it moist. This is probably the most traditional method, and here's how we're going to make it. Preheat the oven to 395 degrees Fahrenheit. Cover the baking sheet with tin foil for easier cleaning. I also like to add a little water to the pan just to keep the oven moist and prevent the honey from burning. Spread the sauce evenly over the pork shoulder and place it on the rack. We will first bake the pork for 15 minutes and then spread marinade on both sides and bake again for the following schedule. At the last 5-minute mark, we're going to apply honey water and bake it at 440 degrees Fahrenheit for another 5 minutes. Let it cool down for 10 minutes before cutting it into small pieces with a knife. Will this be the champion? Keep watching. Next up, we have the sous vide method. We'll cook the pork shoulder in a vacuum seal bag for the perfect tender texture. This is probably the easiest method. We are going to set the sous vide station at 150 degrees Fahrenheit and let it submerge in completely for 4 hours and no more than 6 hours. When the timer goes off, take out the pork and put it in the air fryer or oven. Brush the honey water on top of the char siu. Flip the meat with the honey side down and we're going to put it on brew high setting for 2 minutes. Flip the meat and brush honey water on top of the pork. Cook for another 2 minutes until we have a nice char. Again, wait 10 minutes before cutting it into little pieces. Is this the best tenderest char siu? Wait for the comparison. Last but not least, we're going to have the air fryer version. Set your air fryer at 385 Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. Put the char siu in the air fryer. After 10 minutes of cooking, brush 1 teaspoon of honey on top of the pork using a brush. Flip the meat honey side down and add it back to the air fryer. After 10 more minutes of cooking, brush the remaining 1 teaspoon of honey on top. Add the tray back in the air fryer for 1 to 2 minutes to get a final char. Alright, time for the taste test. We'll judge based on the flavor, tenderness, and the overall appearances. Before I give you the result, I like to eat my char siu with a bowl of rice, boiled veggie, fried egg, and some Maggi seasoning on top. In Hong Kong, we call it ngắm nhìn siêu hoàn fan, which means that the rice dish that will take your soul away. Overall, the sous vide gives us an incredibly tender texture with a beautiful, evenly cooked center, but it does lack a little crispiness. The air fry version has a great charred exterior and a slight crisp, although it's not on the tender side. The traditional oven bake method gives us a nice balance of both worlds. It's juicy with a good crust, but it's not as consistent in texture as the sous vide. So which method would I recommend? If you're looking for the ultimate tenderness, sous vide is your winner. For a quick fix, the air fryer one is great. It only takes 20 minutes. And if you're looking for a balance between crisp and tenderness, the oven will be your best choice. Let me know in the comments which method you would like to try or if you have another way of making char siu. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more delicious experiment like this. See you next week. Bye!